All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall bless your day by His mercies you want to consume. Alive in the Most High in your house shall body and two, and naturally alive, man. I want to kind of get into this real quick, man, because let me say this too, because I was watching a video about it was like a Fantastic Four review, man, but because it was if y'all watched if y'all seen the movie already, Reed Richards came up, Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards came up with a plan to to lure Galactus in to save him, to save his child, whatever, and save the world and his child. But it was kind of like the people who had a problem with the plan. They said oh, how can he be the smartest man on the world, or one of the smartest men in the world, and do something like that. Which the plan wasn't bad, but that's neither here nor there. But let me say this too, man. A lot of times too, here's a misconception that intelligent people can't get got a lot of times too, because just because you're very hyper intelligent to me doesn't mean because somebody said in the comment perfectly. He said just because he's very intelligent, like smartest man on the earth, or one of the smartest people on the earth, doesn't mean he can't get desperate, man, because that's where James 5 and 17 kicks in. These are we got even how much more people, because we see more righteous people in the word, righteous people, the saints of the Most High Yahushua, come have a moment of weakness, man. They even had moments of weaknesses. Yahushua was sorrowful unto death. And I was the wisest man to ever walk the earth, man. We already know what Solomon went through and things that Solomon had going on. Because at the end of the day, you're flesh and blood. You're a human being at the end of the day. Even though these people were greater people than me, and more holier and more greater people than me, but still, man, it's still at the end of the day, man. Because a lot of times too, intelligent people, very wise, intelligent people, they can get got too sometimes. I'm saying in the word, or even outside the word. Man, this is the thing in life. Because I remember talking about because one of my favorite show, one of my favorite shows, of course, is The Wire, man. And because people talked about how when Marlowe got to connect, got to the Greeks to through Prop Joe, and how Prop Joe should never did that. I mean, of course, sometimes your own sometimes things can get in the way. Your own idealism can get in the way of certain things. You can in certain things, man. My point is, being intelligent people can get got too, man. It's very intelligent. Sometimes smart people can get played too. That does not make them less intelligent or have less wisdom or less astute or erudite per se. But that just means, listen, it happens a lot of times too. But a lot of times too, somebody with wisdom learns from that. And honestly, that's why we even with the word, right? That's why Paul says what the Most High House do. Paul says what, this is written for our learning. Because a lot of times too, here's the thing: we always talk about, people make the mistake of talking about more people that are more righteous than them, and two, if we talk about with David's adultery, or Solomon's Solomon's fault, his spiritual adultery, all that stuff is for our learning, man. Especially for Solomon, that is just the wisest man at the time to ever walk the earth. That's what it says in the letter for us. Paul says, don't put yourself above what's written. That's what it is, man. It is too. That's even in the word out there, where we gotta stop putting people above what's written, above on pedestals, man. Because that's just what it is, honestly. That's a flesh and blood person, man. Because that's just a human at the end of the day, man. So not everybody's going to react to everything the same way. So yeah, man. Even say with Noah, or Jonah, or because that's a misconception too. Noah got drunk. Noah wasn't a drunk too. I have to even correct that, because sometimes in conversation, and I think even video sometimes I even said that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, man. But anyways, too, man. Very wise and intelligent people. Even people of faith sometimes be very faithful to the Most High house. They can get have a low level of weakness and breaking point, man. That's where our power lies, in the Most High house. That's why John 3:27 says a man can have nothing unless it come from heaven. And also too, so right, 1:1 says Ecclesiastes says that all wisdom coming from the Lord, man. So too, that's where it is. But even sometimes outside the word, people are very intelligent, man. They could. That's not make them immune to certain things. Like, you know, they just can get, like, you know, that's because, you know, I'm doing this video because a lot of times we can put too much expectations on people. I know I can, like, sometimes you gotta realize, like, okay, cool, they're even, like, you know, because, you know what, let me say this too, like, you know, I didn't get it for the job, like, you can't, there's a level of that, but sometimes, like, you know, you gotta think about, shout out to brother sent me firstborn, because he said this one time, because a lot of times too, like, say if a cop, for example, a lot of times too, these cops be, like, you know, and I understand it, but at the end of the day, like my homie said, you signed up for that, so yeah, it is what it is, but they can be nervous and scared sometimes, like, you know, like the brother somebody first one said, he said they're more scared of you sometimes than you are of them. Now, I'm saying that we shouldn't be in fear or anything like that, but fear, and even that, sometimes fear can kick in, man, because you're a regular human being, but you just don't like to override that, especially if faith in the Most High in your house, man. But there's been plenty of men that people in the Word that, you know, was scared at one point, man, because you're human at the end of the day. So pretty much, this kind of goes into above what's written again. So I want to talk about this, man. I want to kind of shed light on this, because yeah, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. So much love. So peace.